Hello and welcome back. Well, welcome to the return of the Cricket Council podcast. I'm Will Kirkup, and it's been a very, very long time, but we are back for the return of the Test summer. I'm here with Rayan. How are we, mate?
Yeah, it's been so good. It's been so long and so many things happened between our last pod and today. Happy to meet you
Yeah,
guys again.
yeah,
How are you guys doing?
we'll be onto that. Luke, how are we?
I'm not bad, mate. Yeah, I've got back from Glastonbury on Monday, so licking my wounds a little bit. But
Yeah,
yeah, excited to talk about some cricket.
yeah. Uh, I'm going to address the elephant in the room now. Ray, well done. India won. India are
Yay, thanks,
champions.
mate. Yes.
I'm
After
sure you're
13
absolutely
years.
delighted. Just talk us
Yeah.
through the emotions and everything else.
So when the match was happened, I was in the field. Uh, I played a club game in Dhaka. So we watched the last 5 hours as a team, and there are some Indians in my team. And when Sky took that catch, we were like literally above the ground, screaming on everyone's face. That's just an unbelievable feeling, celebrating Indian victory in England, wearing an Indian jersey. It was, I know, still I'm living in that moment. And while we're speaking, the Indian team is doing a parade right now in Mumbai, in the Marine Drive. So
Nice.
it's one of the
That'll be
happiest week for
wild.
me. Yeah, the celebrations have been wild there. I already seen the photos of 10,000s of plus people gathered there surrounding the team bus cheering for them. In a country like India where cricket is a religion, it's something very very huge. We won the World Cup after 13 years. I'm so happy right now.
Yeah,
Cannot describe the emotions in the words, but I'm really really happy.
yeah. I mean, I feel like it's definitely the equivalent, Luke. If we
Mm.
are somehow England footballer in the final next Sunday
Yeah, it's
against
That's
equivalent to that.
exactly what I was thinking. That
that is the
that
equivalent,
Bellingham
isn't it?
goal, the Bellingham goal, is
I
probably the
actually did.
equivalent of Sky's catch, but it wasn't
Yeah,
granted.
bit better
But
than Sky's catch, but anyway, that's just what I think. Yeah, we need to avoid drifting into Euros chat too much, but I did want to quickly ask, how did you consume the game amongst the tents?
so I wasn't watching it. I was actually seeing an artist, and
Yeah,
then I was just loading up BBC, and then I saw 90 plus four, was about to put my phone away, and then just up pokes the notification,
flashed.
Bellingham
Yeah,
goal. And I had no idea, like it was such a great goal. I just put my phone away. I was like, great. Saw the rest of the act, and then the murmurs sort of go around the crowd. And then I was like,
yeah.
what have we scored again? And then obviously that was the extra time goal,
The
90 plus
Kane
one,
goal. Yeah,
whatever
yeah,
it
yeah.
was. And then later that night, I was like, oh, I better watch the goals. And then obviously just saw what Bellingham done. I was like, unbelievable. But I think it was quite good that I didn't watch the match, to be honest, because I don't think my heart rate could have taken it.
Oh, it was awful. It was awful to watch. The whole game was awful.
Yeah, where
Like
were you watching?
I was in a sort of classic when you're abroad and you find the an English pub. It was an Irish pub actually, and I just watched it with my brother. And we were just having quite intense conversations about tactics during it because it was just basically just pure Anthony Gordon clamour. Right, I'm aware this is as I thought we are seriously in danger of doing a Euro 2024 podcast right now.
Yeah.
Ray, what are your thoughts on the event, how the competition was as a whole? Like, did you like? I don't quite know how to
Yeah,
put
so
it.
I know what you're going to
You
ask.
like?
So
Was it like
before,
sort of? No, hang on. Was it like? How did you enjoy the tournament as a whole? Like, did you think it was a good tournament as a whole? Like,
yeah,
what
but
do you reckon?
so we all know it's a T20 format, and it was one of the fastest international tournament. So it finished within 3 or 4 weeks, as quick. Every day there's a 2 or 3 matches happening. There's a lot happening in a day, so it's quite to catch up everything. But I watched most of the Indian matches except the final and the Bangladesh one, because on those 2 matches I've been in the field playing. So sadly, I missed those 2 matches. But apart from that, I missed most of the iconic matches like South Africa versus Nepal, where South Africa won by a single run. And there's so many quite interesting games, and the teams like Afghanistan, so they rose to the occasion. They showed the world, where they belong. So it's one of a good tournament for cricket. So we spoke about why ICC not allowing the associate nations to take part in the World Cup. So in this tournament, 20 teams took part in the World Cup. So it's a good thing for cricket to grow around the globe.
Agree.
Yeah, so it's a good tournament, and then it exposes the cricket in the USA too. So the game will develop in a developed nations like USA. So it will help the game to grow financially. So it's a good tournament, and I know where it's heading. So once India won the tournament, there's a lot of talk about ICC is supporting India. The tournament is totally revolving around India. The match is happening to support India, the pitch, everything. So I had so many noises regarding the India's win. I don't know what you guys think about that, but
Luke.
I'll
say, to bring Luke in a bit.
Well, I think obviously people are overstating. People are probably overstating the facts, and they're probably England fans that are just disappointed that we didn't win. But I don't think it is disputed that the BCCI do control cricket, as they probably should, because it's where the most revenue is. There's where the most fans are. But I think the real talking point was that India knew where their semi-final would be played before the competition even started, which enables them to plan, and no other team knew that. But the fact that India played in the USA, I think in fact that made the group stage harder for them. As you saw, USA beat Pakistan. The pitch was a bit of a leveler, but yeah, there's sort of little things did definitely help India. But at the end of the day, they are probably the best T20 team in the world. So I think they would have won it anyway. So yeah, I think there's always going to be a few sort of voices that are saying certain things, but yeah, we shouldn't overstate it.
Yeah,
I know.
It's a thing.
Whenever we lost,
right.
We haven't won in the last 13 years. So whenever we lost, we don't talk about why we lost or why they won. But once we won the tournament, there's so many noises about this, because India won because of this, because of that. I don't know why it's happening. Even though we know where we are going to play the semi-final, the match was played in the pitch on the 20 overs. Obviously, England had a fair chance. They won the toss as well. They choose to bowl first. So there's nothing between BCCI, stating that India already won the match before the start of the match. So the match was played on the pitch, but once England lost the match, there are so many talks about India. BCCI is much into this, so India won the match even before the ball was played. I don't know why, but I'm happy that we won the tournament. That's it.
I think that's the case when any team wins, right? And there's any controversy. Remember the 2019 World Cup?
Yeah.
Stokes,
that's sort of a case for England.
Reflected off the bat and how that wasn't right and stuff. But yeah, congrats to India.
Thank you.
That's the thing. I wanted to just quickly step in. India were definitely the best team in the talk anyway, and they had a bit of everything, Kohli stepped up at the end.
Yeah.
It's just, they deserved it. And I haven't followed it enough, but they deserved it. 100%.
Yeah.
Luke,
what were you going to add just then?
Yeah, I was going to just, as you said correctly, Kohli stepping up in the final, scored no runs throughout the tournament. And I think if you weren't an Indian fan, you're sort of wondering, why is he still in the team? and then he goes and does that, and it shows all the sort of discerning voices that he should be there. And
I would never
annoying,
be
but
dropping
he
him.
is very good.
Yeah.
So I think we talked about Kohli's position in the batting lineup, or whether Kohli needs to be in the team or not in our previous podcast. But Kohli is a Kohli. He's a legend, and so after the tournament, Virat, Rohit, and Jaddu retired from the T20 ice, and there'll be a new bunch of guys who's going to play the T20s for India in the future. So there'll be some future for us in the upcoming tournaments. I'm excited for that. The guys like Abhishek Sharma, Rayan Parag, who showed some exciting talents in the IPL, are ready to represent India. So exciting times for India.
It's as it always is, just endless talent from that part of the world.
Yeah.
I also want to have a quick touch on the organisation in terms of why do they keep putting these ICC, especially T20 World Cups on when it's the rainy season? My thoughts generally go out to the people who are affected by the hurricane in the Caribbean at the moment, which is genuinely being very damaging. Like, what's going on there? What's happening there?
I think there is a difficulty of scheduling. I think
IPL is
to fit everything in, and not to go too deep into the issue because this is definitely not my field of expertise, but I've read a lot of reports saying that cricket is the #1 sport that's going to be affected by climate change. So unfortunately, I think it's only going to get worse. But I do agree there sort of needs a bit more sense about when these tournaments are going to be scheduled. I think, was it in Florida they barely played a match?
They just didn't play.
Yeah.
They didn't play at all, did they?
I don't know if it
Of course, rubbish.
But
Yeah.
it wasn't great.
Yeah, there's a lot of things that don't make sense with cricket from club level to international level.
So true. So true. Just have it in a country, but like it's not raining in England, but it probably is quite a lot, I guess. Then you can't have it in England every year. That's just crazy. Oh, I don't know. I wouldn't do very well running the International Cricket Council. I'll stick to our council, I suppose. Is there anything more to add on T20 discussions?
I think a bit of a disappointing tournament for England.
Yeah, I mean,
I don't think we were ever really expected to win, and we started pretty slowly, not too dissimilar to the England football team, to be fair. Did well, I guess, in the Super 8s, but I think for us to beat in India, we'd have had to play almost the perfect game.
Yeah.
And of course we didn't, and then the better team wins, so no real complaints. But I think it could be the end for Butler and Mott.
Oh, I would agree. I think leave Butler to just do his batting thing. He's our best batter, and just sort of leave him to do that.
I think a lot of teams are coming into this sort of transitional period, Australia, England, where you've got older players who have been unbelievable. They're still playing in the IPL, but their powers are waning. And it's sort of, when do you wait for them to retire, or do you give them a kick? And I think sort of this cycle is now ended, and we need to start thinking about the future. We're sort of seeing that in the Test side with Jamie Smith coming in, obviously Anderson being shown the door, which I don't agree with. But I guess
we'll come to that fully.
I guess we'll get to that. But I think the white ball setup, especially the T20 setup, just needs a bit of a refresh. Get some new players in. It seems like we've had the same players for the last 4 or 5 tournaments now.
I wonder how many tournaments has Chris Jordan played?
Yeah, and
like fair play to him.
He's a good cricketer, but I don't think he's going to win you a World Cup.
And maybe like Sam Curran, like Ray, you watch more of the IPL. How was Curran's form in the IPL? Because obviously he didn't play.
Average. He's average. No, So once he won the player of the tournament, and then his form dips in straight away.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know why, but still he's a good player. He has a potential to win matches.
Yeah,
So
he's
cricket
not that
is a funny
scary,
game.
is he? I guess
Yeah,
he's just not.
there's no debate about his form or his talent.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure he'll rise above and go on to win some games for England in big stages. Hopefully.
Yeah, fingers crossed, I suppose. Um, yeah, I mean, let's crack on with England's test matches now.
That's good. Yeah.
The first test match, I'm going to quickly have a look. I haven't actually looked at the dates of them.
I
Probably
think
should
in
have
a week
I
of
should have
time.
looked at this. So England's first test, 10th of July, the first day, through to the 14th of July, at Lords, and then we play the second test, 18th to the 22nd of July, and the third test on the 26th to the 30th of July. We have another. Is it 2 more tests against Sri Lanka? Is it another 3-test
Yeah.
series? And then we've got a 3-test series against Sri Lanka, which doesn't start till August. So we've got 21st to 25th of August, and then the 29th to the 2nd of September, and the 6th to the 10th of September. There's the big one, Luke. I'll let you take the floor, so to speak. Jimmy Anderson, go.
Yeah, so I was watching him on the Lancashire stream, taking wickets for fun. I think at one point he had the first 6 wickets, and I thought he's on for a 10-fer. And I'm just imagining Rob Key sitting there, head in hands. What have I done?
You
But
can change your mind, Rob. Still
I
time.
know, and it's interesting because from what I've sort of read and what Anderson said, I think he still wanted to play.
Mm-hmm.
He's
But
still
that says it
fit.
all. Going and playing for Lancs now is the epitomizes of it.
Exactly, and he's still in the top. Well, he's probably still the best seamer that we have, and definitely in the top 4. So it's sort of, but it goes back to my point that I made. We're looking to the future now, and I think we're thinking about the next Ashes series down under.
Oh yeah, totally.
Realistically, he's not going to be there. So this summer, where we're playing against inverted commas weaker teams, I think it probably is a good time to bed in some young, fast bowlers. Like you've got Pennington in there. I think you've got Turner. A few
There's
others.
no Turner in the squad. I've just pulled it up now. I'll go through the squad because it's quite a. It opens it up to more discussion. Stokes, captain, obviously. Anderson for first test only, and then Gus Atkinson, Shoaib Bashir. That's another talking point, isn't it? Harry Brook, Zach Crawley, Ben Duckett, Dan Lawrence, Dylan Pennington, Ollie Pope, Matthew Potts, Joe Root, Jamie Smith, and Chris Woke. First notable omission is Jack Leach. Well, not first only, but the basically selection of Shoaib Bashir as our frontline spinner. Ray.
Yeah. So
what do you think about that?
First of all, no, I want to appreciate Bash for saying straightly to Anderson that we are not considering you for the next Ashes. I imagine how it will be in India if someone from the Indian coaching setup, explain to the senior player like Virat or Rohit, we are not considering you. Will be good if you retire in the current series. The scenario is completely different in India. So in India, players are above the game. That's the bad thing. If they want to retire, they want to play. They will play until they want to retire. But in England, it's completely different. The game is always above the player. So cricket is a team sport, and there is no other player is above that. That's a good thing about England. So a player like a star like Jimmy Anderson was said by the coach that you are not considered for the next Ashes. That's a sad thing for a player, but that's a good thing for a team. So they want the young setup. They want to build a team for the next Ashes. That's a good thing done by the Bash. But I read Nathan Lyon's statement about Jimmy Anderson. No, he I don't know what he meant by that. So, but he was worried that Jimmy Anderson is going to retire even in his top form. He told that he's still the best player in the world, the best bowler in the world. He has the best skill set which no one has. So he still have the potential to go. That's what another line said. But still, it's good for the England to build the team for next Ashes. And I wish Jimmy will go well in his last Test match. Hopefully, he will pick another fifer to end his fairy tale career on a high note. Wish him the best. Yeah, and
Yeah.
with the squad, I have some, uh, some like misjudgments with the coach and Rob Key. Like they select Shoaib Bashir as a lead spinner, no Ben Folks. So I have some questions, but I don't know why they have something in their mind to select James Smith or Shoaib Bashir. Let's see how they perform in the upcoming series, how the team is going to do in the future, and what will be the team for the next Ashes. Let's see.
Yeah. Luke, on the wicketkeeper situation, first of all, I'm glad that Johnny Bairstow has been dropped. No
He played some great
disrespect.
cricket in the World Cup.
No disrespect. I think he's had his time. And he's been a brilliant player for us and everything else. But I just think it's time to move on from Johnny. But Jamie Smith as a selection, I've got some stats for you. And it actually refers more to Ollie Robinson, the Durham keeper, who has been in blistering form this season. So Robinson has scored 788 runs in his 13 innings this season at an average of 71.63. And most interestingly, a strike rate of 84.91 compared to Jamie Smith, who has 677 runs in 12 innings, averages 56, but has a strike rate of 76.67.
Was he selected because he's playing for Surrey?
So no, I'd like to think that is the case, but I think it's to do with his style of play, I suppose. That Luke, we saw him play in that friendly at Hove at the start of the season, and even from that 50 odd he scored, he was very fluent, had all the shots, and maybe had that X factor. And I think that's what they've gone for. I understand it.
Yeah, they're both great records, both Robinson and Smith, and I think it's probably close between them. But as you said, I think Smith's ceiling is so high. When you watch him bat, he's so attractive. He can dominate bowling. And yeah, I think I don't know, he kind of reminds me of a bit of a Kevin Peterson, some of the shots he plays, sort of. I just would know he'd be difficult to bowl to. Harsh on Ollie Robinson, but yeah, I think he'll get his chance at some point as well. Because interestingly, Smith doesn't keep for Surrey in the format game either.
Yeah, main point is he doesn't have the practice.
So I think I wouldn't be surprised at one point in the not so distant future we'd have Ollie Robinson keeping, and then Jamie Smith in the team just as a batsman.
Yeah. Oh yeah, we have both, I suppose. Who's getting dropped in that scenario? Who's in at 5? Who's in at 5 at the moment? You've got Harry Brook as well to think about.
Brook, yeah, not
Brook
not saying it will happen this summer, but I think they're sort of the next two cabs off the rank. And they're both young, but then I guess so is Brook. I mean, Root's got a lot of years of cricket left in him. Ollie Pope.
Yeah.
So I guess the batting.
Ollie Pope might be it. might be one
I think
he needs to turn
Ali
it on
Pope
this
is
summer.
I think Ali Pope will be considered as the first choice wicketkeeper in the summer. I think so. Do you guys think Jamie Smith will straight away walk into the 11?
Oh
Probably
yeah,
in
I
a-
think
Oh yeah, Smith will be number 7
Okay. Because
keeper.
I think that Ali Pope will do the gloves. Let's see.
You think Ollie Pope will keep?
Yeah.
No, no, you won't. No, you won't. He won't keep.
Yeah, okay.
I'm almost like I'm
So
very.
who is the second keeper in the squad? So Jamie Smith is the wicketkeeper option. Who is the backup then?
Well, that I suppose Pope in that scenario
probably
is
would be Pope, but I imagine if he gets injured, they'll call up Robinson.
yeah. Or I
Okay.
mean, folks it feels hard up by folks really.
Bit harsh, but
Doesn't really
yeah.
do
Yeah,
anything
big,
wrong. does
very
he?
harsh on folks. He has a fantastic series in India. Very, very harsh on
Yeah,
folks.
yeah, true. But they'll bring him back for the away tour. Well, who are we touring in the winter? Does anyone know?
Not India. So
I think it's New Zealand.
maybe
One of them. I don't know if they'd bother with him on New Zealand's decks, but if it was
you
a
know,
touring the subcontinent, he probably would get picked for that. But
Yeah,
regarding the situation of regarding the situation of folks, it's hard, from a player perspective. He did everything right in the series and have no reasons to get dropped. So it's still very, very hard for Ben folks to go through that. It's very, very harsh on him.
yeah, it is harsh. It's very harsh. So yeah, Luke, what's your 11 for Lords next week? And then actually more interestingly, what's your 11 for the second test? Actually, yeah, what's your 11 for the second test? Because obviously you're picking Anderson.
right. So Crawley and Duckett opening.
Yep.
3 Pope, 4 Root, 5 would be Brooke.
Yep.
6. Who would be 6? Let me get the squad up.
Stokes.
Oh, of course, Stokes, Smith. Then you're going to have as
Then it
the
gets
bowlers, probably Wokes will bat at 8, I imagine.
Yeah.
He's probably going to be spearheading the attack this summer once Anderson goes, and then Gus Atkinson I'd probably play, and then you've got Pennington. Yeah, it's tricky. I don't think it's set in stone. I think they might rotate a lot, especially with the seamers. See how they do and sort of see who the next person is.
I think Matty Potts will play, and I've got no idea with Pennington. Not watched him.
Yeah, I've seen him on some of the streams. He's quick, actually. Got a good batter. I completely forgot about Potts, but yeah, I think he'll be in as well.
Yeah, it'll be Potts. I mean, I don't know what he's like with the bat, but Potts at 10.
I think he scored 100. He scored 100 as a night watchman, actually.
Oh, gosh. Oh, she's
So yeah, I think he's a 9. I reckon I'd have him at 9. Depends who else is in the team, I guess.
Yeah. And then no Wood, but I suppose I think that's more of just a break from after the World Cup, opposed to anything to do with form.
Okay. So I have some questions for you. Not a question. So I have some doubts for you guys. Sussex is leading the table in second division, and still there are no players from Sussex in the squad, and mostly the players from the first division league. And I think 2 of the Yorkshire mates are only the guys from and the Somerset guy. Like Somerset is playing the Division 1 or Division 2.
Division 1.
Okay, so I think 2 Yorkshire guys are the only League 2 players. Is there anything behind that? Is there any reason behind that?
Nah.
Why Sussex is doing good?
Well,
No one.
obviously, okay. Well, Root's obviously getting picked, and
Yeah,
Brooks
Root and Harry
obviously
Group.
getting picked.
Yeah, sure.
And then I
But
think
why?
there's no one else in Division 2 which possesses no English players anyway, which has that obvious class and gravitas that both those players provide. Like Sussex, obviously we talk about Durham's Ollie Robinson. Sussex's Ollie Robinson's been bowling really well. and that seems like quite a tougher mission. I'd quite like to see him back in the squad at some point over the summer.
Is Surrey the Mumbai of England cricket?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. They by far got the most financial
Mostly.
backing, sort of. Yeah, if you see, they won the championship, I think, the last 2 years in a row. I think they're also top of the table now.
4 or so.
So
Yeah.
if you want to play for England, you need to get picked by Surrey and perform for them. That's it. That's the mantra. Is that?
I think it will help. I think it helps, but also I think, yeah, I would have said before, you need to be scoring runs, taking wickets in Division 1, unless you're Root or Brook, or someone of that caliber who sort of already proved that they can do it at the highest level. But I think now what Keys, Stokes and McCullum are looking for is that talent, like Bashir. He hadn't had a great record, but they identified something in him. He obviously did very well out in India. I think they've done it again with Pennington. Smith as well, although he plays for Surrey. I think, yeah, they're just looking for that particular brand of cricket. And if you fulfill that criteria, I think, yeah, you're going to get your chance.
Yeah,
release
the players who play,
isn't it?
Yeah, players who are playing in the Division 2, there needs to be some, something for them to push their body above their weights. So if there's no gain for them, to get, why they are giving everything and playing the Division 2 league, even before they know they're not going to select for England, they're getting selected for England. So then there's nothing for them to play.
Get promoted and then you're in Division 1 and you want to get picked.
Yeah, or get transferred to a team.
Impress. Sorry. And then get signed by them, I guess. Which is a bit depressing.
Well, I think there is a big drop off, I think, between, like, there's still good players in Division 2, don't get me wrong. But I think particularly the bowling that you face, if you're a good batsman in Div 2 or even a good county batsman, you can cash in because the bowling, I don't know, they're sort of county trundlers, 75, 80 miles an hour. And yeah, they can cash in. But if those players went to play in international cricket, I think they'd find it as a very different game and a different story.
It's not Pat Cummins, is it?
No.
It's just not. Unfortunately, as good as Sean Hunt is.
Yeah.
It's just not quite.
So I've noticed we've got 2 minutes left on the Zoom call. There's one final thing that I definitely wanted to touch on, which was the tie between Glamorgan and Gloucester. I don't know if you guys.
Luke, what I'm going to do is, Luke, is I'm going to say, let's have a break and let's come back and have maybe a bit more county champs discussion before we wrap up.
Guys, I probably need to go though, because I've got a train to catch and I also need to vote.
Okay.
Right. Give us 30 seconds, Luke.
So, do you want me to introduce the?
Yeah. Just do it. Just talk. We'll just wrap up like that in a minute. It's fine. Just do it. Okay.
So Gloucestershire versus Glamorgan. I think Glamorgan were chasing 592 in the final innings. They get to 592, the game ends in a tie. So they needed 2 off the final over. Ended up needing 1 off the final ball to win. They'd already tied. James Bracey takes his glove off to throw down the stumps, I guess, if the batsman misses it. The batsman edges it, and then his right hand, without the glove, with just his inner, he takes an incredible catch. Surely one of the best games the county championship has ever seen. Long live the county championship and 4-day cricket.
And with that, thank you so much for joining us. Joining me again, Rayan, Luke. We will see you hopefully after the first test.
Cheers, guys.
Cheers, guys.
Appreciate it. All right, in a bit.
Thank you so much.